Hi, I'm Jace Benton, and today I'm going to be debunking why recent attempts and strategies of gun control and taking them away from Americans is not right. In our world today, a lot of things are getting out of hand, from riots, terrorist attacks, school shootings, and other outbreaks where civilians are getting shot and injured. It seems like our country is at an all-time low with crime and outbreaks involving firearms and U.S. Americans. Over the last 5 or 6 years, there's been a lot of talk about banning guns completely, taking them away, and other people have a lot to say on the topic, and today I'll be telling you my thoughts on the matter. Personally, I don't think taking them away completely would fix anything. I think every citizen that passes all the background checks and should own a gun to protect themselves, their family, to go hunting, to do anything of that nature. And the Second Amendment, it says every citizen has the right to bear arms. That basically means every citizen has the right to own a firearm and conceal a firearm. Yes, there are background checks, there are tests you have to take, there are multiple steps that go along with that. You have to pass certain things. And according to Delaware House of Republicans, it says California arguably has the most restrictive gun control laws. That's just an example. And those have failed recently with a lot of outbreaks and shootings and things that shouldn't be happening with citizens that aren't passing those requirements, having a gun, going out and doing something they shouldn't be, affecting innocent bystanders. So with California having the most strict rules behind that and all this still happening, that just proves that that would not solve anything, because if people really want to, they'll still get their hands on a gun no matter what rules are in place. Just like drugs are illegal, people still take drugs and do all that stuff. Like I know in Texas, where I'm from personally, marijuana is not a legal substance, but so they banned it completely. There's no selling. If you get caught with it, you still get arrested. Meanwhile, I know people, and I'm sure everybody knows somebody that has smoked marijuana illegally or does it. It just happens. This is how it is with it being legal in some states and legal in not. The Second Amendment guarantees law-abiding citizens and Americans the right to bear arms, like I said before. But over time, people have been trying to say that guns kill people, but that is not true. People kill people. So some politicians and gun control proponents argue that these laws are necessary, even though the cost of infringing upon fundamental American rights, and pretty much saying that like it's going to cost a lot of money to do so, but if they think that's going to work, then they're going to try to do it. What is gun control? Gun control is it's an umbrella term. It pretty much refers to laws and ordinances that restrict law-abiding citizens to owning a firearm, going out and buying one, protecting their families, going to hunt, competing in competitions, just kind of hobbies things. But there are steps that, like I said in the past, I know in Texas or even Oklahoma and Kansas, you got to have your hunter safety course. So as a little kid, or whenever you get into it, you go take a test. You learn safety about the gun. I would hope when you're little you don't have any background stuff that's red flags, but you take the test, you learn about guns, and kind of just teaches you from a young age how to protect yourself, protect others using the gun. There may be different restrictions placed upon the right depending where you live. Gun control at the local level ranges widely. For example, in some towns, citizens who are licensed to carry, basically meaning they went and took a test and studied and passed all this stuff to where they can walk around public freely and have a weapon on them. That's again for personal protection, family protection. Say you're walking in a store and a bad guy or somebody who shouldn't own a gun comes walking through. What are you supposed to do? Just sit there and let the worst outcome happen, or are you gonna, as a husband or whoever decides to have a gun, you're gonna protect your family with with the skills and knowledge that you have. I know in Chicago, it's a really high crime area. Those people got to go through more background checks and more stuff, just because there are so many instances where people come raid your house and rob your house and come take your guns. So they want to limit the amount of people who have guns in that area. My next point, I think I kind of hit on it. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. In California, they have the most gun laws. They still have the highest crime rate in the country. Like I said, it pretty much is just kind of piggybacking off everything I already said. I mean, you can try to prevent something, but something's always going to come up worse. Like any in-state problem. Like, you're not supposed to cheat. People still cheat. You're not supposed to steal. People still steal. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if someone really wants to have a gun and do something bad with it, they're going to find a way. I don't think taking away from everybody is the right choice, because then again it puts civilians in harm's way. The NRA says the Second Amendment. I'm sorry, I already said that. What are reasons to buy a gun to protect yourself? Some of those reasons are protection. You want to protect your family. Let's say the worst happens and there's another world war. I know that's crazy, something crazy to think about, but it could happen, and we could go to war and be invaded by another country. And I know my family want to be able to stand in our home and protect ourselves, protect our loved ones until them come over. Another one is competition. My family was in a skeet shooting competition. That's with a shotgun, shooting clay disc. It's just a fun hobby that some people like to have, just like fishing or playing a sport or crocheting or anything like that. The next one is hunting. Rifle used for deer, pigs, anything of that nature. I know some people get bigger game than that. Some people use shotguns for bird hunting. But gun control, like I said, is a big umbrella term. And if we take guns away completely, all of those things, such as hunting, competition, protection, all those are going to go out the window. I think people should own a firearm for various reasons. One being, if you're walking down the street and you hear something going on in your neighbor's house and they need help, someone's breaking in, yeah, you can go over there and kind of provide assistance without having to wait on the police to come, because then you're just sitting duck with someone who's already doing something illegally with a firearm. You can protect yourself, protect your neighbor and your loved ones, your family, your friends. The NRA argues that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to own a firearm and prevents the government from taking that away. And supporters believe this is good for Americans because it strengthens personal freedom and limits government outreach. It also gives people the ability to protect themselves and their families. I feel like I'm just piggybacking off of what I've already said, but basically, in conclusion, I just would like to say that I think firearms are going to benefit you. Mentally sane people to go buy firearms, protect themselves, go hunt, do what they need to. But I do not believe that taking them away completely is the right choice and the right outcome. I've given you my thoughts on the subject, and I really encourage you to go do your own research, watch videos. Go watch videos. That's what I like to do. Is TikTok's a big thing. I'm sure you're on it. YouTube. I know Charlie Kirk had a lot to say on the topic. There's some TED Talks out there, but go do your own research. Come up with your own thoughts on the subject. That's my thoughts on the subject, and thank you. If you want to show the room, that's it. Thank you.